Okay, we'll get started. We'd like to welcome Max Homa and Collin Morikawa here into the Media Center at the Zurich Classic of New Orleans. First time together as teammates. We've got a little Cal Berkeley connection going on here. Max, we will start with you. Talk a little bit about how excited you are for this week and playing with Collin.
Yeah, I think it's a very fun event. It's a nice change of pace. Getting to play a team event is for FedEx Cup points is pretty awesome. And yeah, getting to play with Collin, two-time major champion, it's an easy job for me, so I appreciate that. But yeah, I've gotten to know Collin since he was in college and always really respected how he went about his business. Obviously appreciate the way he plays golf, and to get to partner with him and get to compete with him and make some birdies will be fun, but I also think we make a very good team, and I'm looking forward to getting going on Thursday.
Yeah, Collin, how excited are you to be teeing it up with Max?
I'm very excited. I sent him the text, and he kind of gave me the I'll get back to you later type thing. Max has given me a lot of praise, and I'm going to give him a lot of praise right now. He was our volunteer assistant coach when I was in college, and you don't really do that when you're fighting for your card on the PGA Tour or you're grinding on the Korn Ferry. I think at the time he had his tour card, but you hadn't won yet, and you don't really do that. Not many guys would do that. So the effort he puts into things that he truly cares about and the people he loves is incredible, right? And people see him on Twitter, people see him, on social media, but he truly does care about a lot of people, and it's amazing how that comes through. And it's just hard to find people like that, and I'm very lucky to have someone like that as my partner this week. His golf speaks wonders. I mean, he's a 6-time PGA Tour winner. I was trying to get my 6th before I got to this event, so we can somehow get tied. But I'm very lucky to have him as a partner. I'm very excited. Look, we're here to win, and we're all starting at even par, no matter what our past history has been about playing golf. This is a format where anyone could go off. One person can go off in best ball, alternate shot. You just got to kind of keep it ahead of you, and hopefully one of us, or both of us, really just absolutely go lights out.
And with that being said, what are the strengths of each other's games? Collin, with Max, what are you looking forward to? What does he bring to the team?
I mean, truly everything. I think, and Tiger, I think Tiger said it right on, why aren't you winning more? But simply, I think when you look at Max's game all around, driving the ball, he hits that cut, right? And that's what I do too. We just hit that cut, and you just wear that out, wear it out. And there really are no weaknesses, and that's what's been pretty cool to see. I mean, I played one of my first few practice rounds when I turned pro in 19. I played a few with Max. I even played with Max in 2016 when I had my Korn Ferry event. And you could tell he was a very good player, but now he has full control of his game. And I think that's what's really cool is when you see certain players out here on tour, they have that. And it's it's stress-free, and you just know you're going to be making birdies. So that's obviously very nice.
Max, this guy's pretty good too. Just talk a little about his game.
Yeah, I actually remember first time I saw him, I went down to Southern Highlands, watched them play golf in the what was that? The Southern Highlands Collegiate. Yeah, and I watched him play, and he hit the ball so well. And all the guys went to the range after. I was just sitting there watching everybody. And I was talking to Eric Mina, who was my teammate and Collin's assistant coach, and I was like, man, this kid is already a top 20 ball striker in the world, and he's still in college. So I remember, I think I told Collin, I was like, listen, I'm not saying this as somebody who thinks they're better than you. I just have seen a little bit more golf than you. I was like, if you can learn how to get a world-class short game, I just don't really know who can beat you. And he did. So he obviously works really hard. He has a very well-rounded game. It's easy to say I'm looking forward to keeping the ball anywhere on grass so I can watch him hit an iron, but he's very good at everything, and I think that's a comforting thing as a partner, both in best ball and in alternate shot. Like I said before, I have a very easy job this week. It's just to watch him hit, clap, and tell him how great he is. So it's going to be a very fun week.
All right, thanks, guys. We'll open it up. We'll start with Kevin.
Hey guys, you had mentioned, Collin, that Corn Ferry Tour event in Wichita in 2016, and I was wondering what each of you guys remember about interacting, and you said playing a practice round together that week. And then Max, what your impressions was of this college kid almost winning and finishing second in a playoff.
Yeah, I'll start that.
This
Max,
is always great.
yeah, this is a great practice round because this is, I think, the first time I had ever met Max, and he did not care about me at all. I was just some fat little kid walking around out of college, just like on a sponsor's invite because I had won the Transmiss the year before. And it was me, Max, and Brandon Hagee, another Cal player. And I think I talked to Brandon almost the entire time, and Max just kind of like let me go. It's weird. Everyone thinks Max is this outgoing guy. When I met him, 7 years ago, like he was pretty shy. Like he was in his bubble. I was not in his friend group yet, especially back then. But you got to kind of ease into him, and as we met through college and whatnot, when he came over, it's obviously been a great friendship.
Yeah, in the 9 holes we played, I obviously was really impressed. But it's hard, the first time you see somebody play golf, I mean, anybody out here can blow your mind for a day. And so you just never know, and it's a big spot for a kid to be playing in a professional golf tournament. And yeah, he went out and lost in a playoff. And I was like, all right, so was it, it's not one of those, hey, he had a great practice round day. He's a very, very good golfer. So yeah, it was, I think from the jump, anybody who played with him in college, I'm assuming high school, like it just, there's just a golfing kind of gift there. But he doesn't take it for granted. It's not like he just sleeps on that. He works at it and tries to improve. But yeah, that first time we played, I was like, dang, this guy really does not hit a bad shot. And I would be lying if in the back of my head is somebody trying to get their card and progress in golf if I wasn't a bit jealous that a 20-year-old kid just absolutely dominated me for a week. And but that's, such is life. It was motivating to get better than a 20-year-old when I was 26. So, but yeah, it's nice. Obviously, it was cool to see him have that success there, stay in college, do some great things for Cal, and then obviously, had success immediately once he turned pro.
And then the volunteer assistant coaching, what did that entail? Like, what was the rhythm of that?
A lot of it just stemmed from, like, Eric is still one of my close buddies, and I just always the grind. Like when I was in college, like Peter Tomasulo was very good to me. I hate admitting that, but he was really good to me. And I always thought that learning from someone who has been there is important for kids, whether that's to get better at golf or to learn how to grow up or whatever it might be. So I kind of felt like this calling to help. I had time, on my off weeks. I knew our team was really good. Collin was obviously the best player, but we had a lot of great talent on that team. So I just wanted to maybe just drop some knowledge on people. Just because I was fortunate enough to see what professional golf was at the highest level. And it was fun for me, and it was just something that I found, selfishly enjoyable while also being able to kind of, hopefully help people's, golf career progress.
All right, let's go to George, and then we'll hit the back row. Right here.
What's going on, guys? Max, for you, how has the kind of relationship evolved since you guys obviously met in 2016? You knew Collin as the college kid. He comes out, goes on a tear. You've now gone on a tear, and you've gone from, I guess, dispensing advice before his pro journey to both of you sharing seats at the table among the game's elite.
Yeah, I guess to Collin's not so fun story about me, but the point of that to me is when I'm at the golf course, I enjoy working and I do my thing, and I think that when I'm not super close with a lot of people in golf, but I have my little cluster of friends, and I feel like those are all people I respect a lot, and I've gotten to know and see how they work at this game. And so I think over time watching Collin work, and like I said, that first time I went to Southern Highlands, and I was like, hey, if you just get a short game, like I truly don't see what could ever stop you. And The next week, I got a phone call from our coach, Walter Chun, and he said, Collin actually didn't hit the ball well today, which I almost fell over. And he said, but his short game kept him in, and he won a golf tournament. And I was just like impressed that, you know, a kid who already has, you know, kind of the world in his hands went home and, you know, by all measures worked at something. And so for me, it's like once I respect somebody and see an alignment of how we look at the game of golf, it's very easy for me to be like attracted to that person. And then past that though, I mean, he's a very, very nice young man. His wife is amazing. We've all gotten close. Our wives are close, so it's been easy. It's been an easy transition. Plus, it's fun to, like, yesterday we drove home and got to tell stories about college stuff. And although we were nearly a decade apart, it's like we were there at the same time because we both did the same dumb things and had the same dumb stories. So it's just an easy relationship for me.
I assume those are off the record?
Yes.
Very much so.
All right, let's go to the back. Actually, we'll go up here first and then to the back.
Hi guys, for both of you. Coming off a major and then an elevated tournament and then you're here this week, everybody's wondering what the schedule is going to be like in the future. What is the place you think of the tournament? Not every tournament can be a major or an elevated event, and you know, to have a tour where you have regular tournaments every single week. What is the future for these tournaments, you think? And as players people want to see play, do you feel any kind of responsibility to say, I'm going to try to make myself, spread myself around on the schedule a little bit so that, people can see me play?
Thanks, Max. Look, I think every week has the opportunity to tell stories, right? And it's on the tour, it's on the media, it's on everyone to be able to portray these stories. Just because it isn't a top 15 player in the world doesn't mean that it's not compelling or it's not enjoyable to watch or to learn about, right? And I think what this week offers is something very different. It's a team event. So like there's 2 weeks in the schedule that to me are like stand out completely different than every event. That's match play, which we don't have anymore, and this week. And it's because it's just so different from the norm. And yes, there are majors and there are elevated events, but to me, I prep the same way. Some guys prep differently for majors, but I show up every week the same thing, so they all kind of do feel the same. So when you have a week like this, they're fun, right? Like we get to have team dinners, we get to go hang out. Like there's a different vibe to it, right? And I think that's what you see. Like we've had a chance to be on a President's Cup team. Like you see that vibe of being on a team. So when you have weeks like this, it's just about telling stories, and there's going to be excitement in golf. Like it's people saying, oh, it's not exciting because there isn't a leaderboard. Well, it still is exciting, but you have to learn the stories of the other people. We know certain stories about other guys, but just because someone else might take the lead doesn't mean it's not interesting, right? So I think people have to enjoy it in a way where we are portrayed and people telling their stories and people giving out more. I think that's what's great about, you see Full Swing with Netflix, you see guys giving more access to just what a day is like in golf, right? It's just kind of seeing that other part of what we do, not just, okay, we're boring guys that play golf and hit a shot every couple minutes, and then 5 hours later, we're done.
Yeah, I would say I think this year has been a great. It's not exactly how next year is going to look, but it's a nice bridge, and I think it's been a pretty great explanation to how things will look going forward. It would be crazy for me to think that every single fan is going to be equally as invested all 46 weeks of the year that we play or whatever it is. However, I think there's a market in each event for a large group of fans. This year's been great to that. The elevated events have been, I think, incredible. Scotty and John have won most of them, but they've all been incredible events. I feel like very exciting and major type feel. And then you have, I thought the Honda was a really great example. Chris Kirk, who's been at the mountaintop, struggled with his game for a little bit, has been playing amazing golf, has his chance to win. You have Monday qualifiers who have their chance to win, and all of a sudden to Collin's point, there's a great story to be told there. And there's a huge group of fans who are very invested in watching someone climb versus watching the guy at the top try to stay at the top. But I think that there's a market for both, and I think that that's kind of what this schedule is providing now. This event is, in particular, kind of like lends itself to stories. It's a lot easier to find them. You see partnerships. A lot of people don't know who's friends out here. You just see us play. So now you get to kind of see that. So it's different, but even just a regular non-designated tour event, I think now provides a lot of opportunity for drama in a different way. And I do believe that the fans will really enjoy and appreciate that going forward.
Okay, let's go to Brody in the back.
Max, first off, I mean, would you agree with Collin saying that you're not as you're a little more shy than people realize? But also, I mean, how to balance that? I mean, how have you gone about the last few years, kind of becoming one of the bigger personalities on tour and more outspoken about things?
I mean, yeah, I guess I'm not shy in that I'll talk to anybody, but like I said, when I'm here, I like to just get my stuff done. I like mostly everybody out here, really, and I've gotten along with pretty much everybody. And by the same time, like I when they say big personalities, like Harry Higgs is a big personality because while he plays, he's like an entertainer. I would not call myself an entertainer. I like to play golf, and I get kind of maybe a bit shy when people are cheering and wanting something from me. But if we were outside the golf tournament, I would say I'm much more amicable, but college word right there, Cal. So yeah, so I guess it's just different. Like I just don't come to the golf course to, I wish I was better inside the ropes of like being more entertaining and acknowledging the people who are being quite kind to me and this and that, but at the same time, I guess I just focus on what I'm trying to get done, and I don't think anybody out here would say I wouldn't go up and talk to me, but at the same time, I'm not as outgoing, I think, as people would think while I'm playing golf. If you saw me out at a bar or something, I might be a little bit more
Don't take
friendly.
it too far. This is I was a 19-year-old, 20-year-old kid who like was just like eyes wide open at a Corn Ferry event. Okay. And Brandon Hagee is the complete opposite. Like he will talk my ear off.
Brandon's
So.
the nicest, so.
Yeah, don't take the whole shy thing too far.
All right, let's go to Paul.
Does Team Homakawa have any predetermined celebrations or antics planned for this week?
Absolutely not. We haven't even come up with a song yet, so we need to get on it.
All right. And then,
You think?
To follow up on Brody's question, Max, you have to be yourself first and foremost, right? You can't try to be something, I mean, it would be a detriment to your golf, right? If you're just trying to say, I need to go out and entertain or show some part of my personality that is not comfortable.
Yeah, there's definitely a blend I've been trying to find, and I don't think I've exactly found it yet, but like I am off the golf course I don't take very many things seriously, and on the golf course I probably take them too seriously, so I'm looking to find a bit of a blend, but yeah, it's hard for me to be something I'm not, and I try when I play golf just to trust my instincts of if I want to chat with people, I'll chat or whatever, but if I don't, then I don't. I try my best, but trying to find that blend. I think a lot of guys out here go through that, but it's interesting. You know, we grow up and we're 10, 11, 12 years old thinking we're going to play on the PGA Tour and like we're going to win majors and win golf tournaments and compete and contend, and then all of a sudden you're out here and you're doing that, but you're also doing that in front of hundreds and thousands of people, and at times they're chanting your name, and I don't think you ever like imagine that as a kid. Those are the parts of like the business you don't think about. So that's something I think we all kind of get used to, and some people are really good at it and some people are learning how to get better at it, but such is life. It's not really a problem, it's just something I think you kind of ponder at times.
All right, we'll wrap it up with Kevin and then George.
there was a quote from a few years ago, Max, where you said of Collin's game that he's like a robot. Do you remember saying this? And Collin, you're...
Yeah, I say it every time I watch him hit a golf ball.
There's way too much praise on my game. Max says he's taking a back seat.
His
I might
caddy
be taking
called him a
back
robot
seat.
yesterday, so I'm not, the robot thing is accurate.
No. I mean, it's, yeah, I do remember that. And that's why I say Max, he cares about the people that are close to him. You could feel the love, and I'm very appreciative of that. But I told Golf Channel earlier, and I'm gonna keep saying it this week. We played a practice round at Augusta, and the compliments have just kept coming. And I didn't do it as much last week, and I probably should have. I was playing in front of him. I didn't turn around and give him a thumbs up. Say, hey, like, go make birdie. But there'll be a lot of praise on his end as well this week. Trust me.
You guys dropped the team Homakawa with the Dodgers jerseys. Obviously, you're used to Dodgers Giants, big rivalry. You have a few different SoCal teams. Cantley, Shoffley, defending champs. You guys have any friendly trash talk with those guys when you're looking at the SoCal contingent as maybe 1A, 1B favorites this week?
I mean, we're like true LA guys. Like they're like Long Beach and San Diego. We're like LA.
Also, I don't think Pat talks trash, so I don't think he'd be the greatest person to get into a trash talking spat with. So, what's that?
Xander can hold his own.
Yeah. Xander is the most underrated person out here when it comes to that. But yeah, them two, especially Pat's pretty quiet. So I think you could say the meanest thing ever to him, and he just nod at you and just continue to walk.
This week, best of luck.
Thank you.